To start off, just to summarize what we're going to talk about tonight, we're going to go through BfA, aka Retail, WoW, current 8.2, what's going on there. After we talk about Retail, we're going to cover Classic. We're going to cover a few things in Classic. One of them just going over the latest news and updates. We're going to talk a little bit about our leveling process from 1 to 40. And then after that, talk a little bit about Warcraft 3, which I had the opportunity to start playing last week.
You could also tweet at us using the hashtag Warcraft Brew if you have a question.
You had the opportunity to clear the Eternal Palace.
Boy, did I!
The world first race is still going on right now.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting. Really, it's just incredible amounts of teamwork is required to complete this raid. So if you don't have that, or even if one person is not pulling their weight, you will notice it and you will feel it.
Really?
Yep.
So more so than other raids in the past.
Yeah, and it starts out right from square one. Get this debuff and it's either ice blue or poison green. And really, if one person just moves just slightly the wrong way, it will ruin it for the rest of everyone.
Well, that reminds me of Thaddeus in Naxxramas. I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with that fight, either doing it through Vanilla WoW or Wrath of the Lich King. My experience is through Wrath of the Lich King. With Thaddeus, he has a positive and a negative charge. So if you have the positive buff, you have to move to one side with everybody with the positive buff. If you have negative, if you cross over, you blow everybody up.
Well, that being said, though, once your teammates, and your entire team just gets in the groove and the swing of things, it feels so empowering.
Fortunately, I feel like if you're in a good guild in Classic, you won't have to experience that much because mostly, like I said, if you're in a good guild, everybody should know the tactics and the strategies already. Right. So I feel like Molten Core is going to be a breeze.
Right.
BWL on Ixia, because everybody knows what to do. It's just a matter of like getting to 60 quickly, getting the gear, and organizing the people.
That kind of leads me to my next point of Mechagon Island and Mechagon Dungeon.
Okay.
Where, you really do need this pre-made group. It is a very extensive dungeon. And again, same feeling of bosses are really intricate. They have a really cool pattern to each and every one of them, but, as soon as your team gets that flow, you could feel like, awesome, we got this. I have to be honest, I think this is like one of my favorite dungeons.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. Just every boss is unique, every boss is fun, and it's, it really kind of makes you bond with your teammates a little bit more.
Because it's a 5-man.
Yeah,
so
it's a 5-man and you're really put in the thick of it. Like, how many bosses were in that? 8?
I haven't been to Mechagon, so I have no idea.
I lose count, about halfway through, but there are so many, and all of them are fun.
So that's cool hearing your take on Mechagon. So it seems like you like it. I will eventually find a way in there. I'm not even close to getting flying, but speaking of flying, you got flying.
I got it
a few days ago?
Yeah, okay. I think last week.
How long did that take you?
It didn't take me that long. It took me maybe, I was a bit behind the curve.
Yeah, we were like 2 weeks later, because we were playing the beta. Well, you were kind of playing Retail a little bit. 8.2, when 8.2 came out, you were playing.
I was playing it.
Yeah.
As soon as you get flying, it is like exhilarating, you're like, oh my god, I could fly over to this rare now and not accidentally miss it because of the terrain.
Quests.
Yeah, or world quests are easier to get to.
I remember in Legion, the Kirin Tor quests I hated until I got flying, and then they were a joke. Because do you remember the one where it was like, use these orbs to get to this little treasure up here, and you have to like float in them and jump around and shit.
Dude.
When you got flying, you could just fly straight to the objective. So I did enjoy it. It does feel very rewarding. A couple more topics in Retail, then we're going to move on to Classic, but this week is Wrath of the Lich King Time Walking Week, which is really exciting. We did that last night on stream. We did our 5 time walking dungeons. I really like time walking. It's like a throwback.
Yeah.
You know, I think that was a great addition to retail. It's kind of like a little bit mix of nostalgia, but you also have your character scaled, your character and your gear scaled to that level. So it does present a bit of a challenge, as opposed to like if you were to do that at max level 120 and just like breeze through the dungeon, like just AoE everything. Right. So yeah, it's kind of like a modern take on the old content. You went to bed, but
yeah,
I had gotten a group together for Ulduar time walking, the old raid, which was really fun. A lot of people really like Ulduar. A lot of people have really good memories of running Ulduar. It's very challenging. You need to have a group that knows what they're doing. Like they need to know the strategies. The first few, I feel like we kind of fudged a little bit and we got by, like ignoring the mechanics, like half-assing it. But as we got towards the end, the last several bosses, like we had a few wipes, just because people actually had to pay attention and execute the proper mechanics and everything like that. But with time walking, you get eye level 415 gear chance from the bosses. I think I got like two or three upgrades from that run alone. Oh,
and you guys were still at it.
We went pretty late. I think total, I thought it was only going to take about 2 hours, but it ended up taking close to like 3 hours, I think. The last thing that I wanted to mention with retail is today's, have you logged in today?
No, I haven't. I haven't gotten a chance. I
you were working.
Came back from work and like we kind of really just walked right into this. So,
today is Auction House Dance Party Day.
Which, I'm sorry, I never fully understood that.
From what I remember, well, first of all, we're on Moonguard, okay? So, let me just preface that. We're on Moonguard. So, the Auction House Dance Party is very popular on Moonguard. I only stayed there for a few minutes. Like, you go in and you start dancing, and there's, like, disco lights. And
I guess hence the name. Auction House Dance.
Yeah, it's so random too. Like,
I know, who thought? Auction House Dance Party. What the hell, Joe?
Yeah.
There's a part of me that's like, okay, when is the next bit of content coming out?
Yeah.
You know, what is their time frame on that? I don't think we've really heard anything in terms of...
Yeah, like an 8.3.
Or an 8.2.5.
Yeah, 8.2.5, yeah.
So with that, let's go into Classic. So
right.
some news recently happened, and right, that was in particular to the stress test.
This latest stress test, which was supposed to happen this weekend, got pushed back, and they'll let us know the date of when it's going to restart or when they're going to conduct it. But a lot of people have been concerned. There's no possible way that they could push back the launch date. If anything, they would maybe delay it by a few hours, 12 hours, I don't know. Worst case scenario. But I don't think there's any way they could push back the launch date. Like, they can't. They absolutely can't. There's going to be so much backlash. That being said, even when there is a bunch of backlash, people still end up playing the game anyway. How many people who like took a month off from work to play Classic are gonna suddenly not play Classic at all because they're pissed off at Blizzard if they push the launch date back a day?
Right.
Like, nobody's gonna do that.
That's not gonna happen.
But they are gonna get a lot of shit.
You know, Nintendo recently had to push back their release of, I guess, the newest Animal Crossing. And it wasn't so much of a, you know, I'm sorry, you know, we're kind of failing to meet your expectations so much as we are concerned for like the health and well-being of our developers.
Oh,
so,
yeah. Absolutely.
You know, we, instead of rushing a really good game, we want to keep everyone happy.
If they have to delay it, they would only be by a few hours. So, who knows?
You know, and they are going to try to do a global-wide release of Classic, right?
Right, and the latest stress test is kind of going to simulate that in a way, where the latest stress test is going to be a global stress test, so it's really going to simulate a launch, and I think that's why they really want to get the stress test right, so that they can really collect as much data as possible for launch day. Again, we don't know when it will be. They haven't announced when the rescheduled stress test is going to be, but we're keeping our eyes and ears out for it, and we'll see. I mean, time's ticking. I mean, that brings me to our next point. It's almost August.
Right.
I mean, what do we have? Like a week? We have like a week left in July, right? Week and a couple days. I don't know. Whatever. It's almost August. We're almost getting to the 30-day, the 1 month mark of Classic launch. August 13th is the day that we will be able to reserve our character names. And from what I read online, you could reserve up to 3 names. That's in 3 weeks. So time's going by very quickly. They have to have the stress test before August 13th, right?
I know. So, and again, it makes me worry too. Like, are they just going to skip the stress test entirely? Which
I can't see them doing that though. They want to simulate a global launch, right?
Yeah.
Because they haven't tested that yet. It's got to be before August 13th. August 13th in 3 weeks, so maybe first week of August we'll see it. That's my guess.
Yeah, that would be really good timing.
We duo leveled as a paladin and a warrior. Humans, we started in the Elwyn Forest. We log in and we have this whole plan. We're like, okay, we're gonna go kill the Defias over here. We're gonna collect Millie's harvest. We're gonna kill Garrick Padfoot, whatever the heck his name is. And then you're thrown into the stress test, and suddenly there's hundreds of people there who are also trying to complete these same quests as you. The challenge really becomes, first of all, like acknowledging that this is going to happen for the Classic launch, figuring out how you could deviate from that and find your own way out of the bottleneck of the starting zone and kind of like past that initial crowd.
Every stress test, we always have a plan, and then we always end up just kind of throwing it out the window, just being like, how do we get out of here? How do we get XP as soon as possible?
Right.
You know, and I think that's kind of part of the charm to it. It has a charm as well. Don't get me wrong. You know, my stress was tested.
Yeah, I mean, it's like thinking outside the box a little bit too, and I think a lot of people are going to try to follow. Like Joanna's guide. Joanna has these amazingly detailed leveling guides. I think he holds the world record for fastest level in vanilla, 4 days, 20 hours. If you're trying to get out of these bottleneck areas as quickly as possible, do you want to follow a guide that everybody else is going to be doing, or do you got to think outside the box a little bit? How can I progress past this area in a different way? I think it's going to be a lot of grinding. Like, there are a few quests that I think we can complete, but thinking about, like, Paladin Warrior, we have a lot of synergy really early on. So, you know, I've said this a bunch of times, but for me, like, by level 8, I have Devotion Aura, I have Blessing of Might, I have Judgment, I have my Hammer of Justice, I have a heal. You have...
Right, I got my charge, I got my rend, I got my hamstring, I got my battle shout, you know, like it's all the bread and butter. Really, it's all there.
So, between those two classes right there, specifically, there's just so much synergy. Like, battle shout and Blessing of Might go great together. Charge is great, because we don't really have... Like, in my head, charge is our ranged pull. Because you don't have your bow right away.
Right.
So, if we see a mob out in the distance that we want to tag, she can go charge it. Hamstring is great for slowing an enemy that's trying to run away so it doesn't aggro additional mobs. Same thing for me with Hammer of Justice. If she doesn't have hamstring up, maybe I could pop a Hodge on the target and it'll get stunned before it runs away. Hopefully we kill it before the duration expires. What else do we have? Yeah, Devotion Aura is great for the armor. The fact that we both wear mail armor off the bat, we have more armor than a cloth user, for example. And just that extra added bonus armor from Devotion adds up nicely too. Especially the fact that you're wearing a shield.
Right.
Too. So collect as much aggro as she can, while I act as more of the support melee. So I'll attack and stuff, but if I need to step back and heal, I have the ability to do that.
our classes being solo, trying to level, it is a lot slower than, as when we're together. That synergy right off the bat, it's just
great.
A thing of beauty.
Not ashamed to admit this, but I did install the add-on Quissy.
I don't know, I think I need a little bit more convincing in terms of... Back in the day, I didn't use any add-ons, so I don't know.
Here's the thing. Yep. That was what my motto was, too. You don't have to think about where you need to go. It's like retail. You don't have to think about where you need to go.
Right.
Now, I will say that Quissy is not perfect. It's not 100%. Sometimes it does bug out. It makes things significantly easier if you're trying to power level. If you're not trying to power level and level as quickly as possible, don't use Quissy. Like, if you prefer the experience of reading the quest log and discovering things and traveling around, don't get Quissy. Like, we didn't use Quissy.
Right.
For 1 to 40 in the beta. So I think there is a bit of a pride thing with using add-ons and Quissy. And I'd be interested to hear what you guys think about this, but if you're trying to level as quickly as possible, would you not want to use Quissy to help you out?
If you don't know the pattern, or if you don't know where the quests are located, you will pass an area, you'll just get one quest, pass an area, come back, and be like, oh crap, I could have completed 2 or 3 other quests in the time it took me, along the way.
Yeah. It just helps you, visualize things a bit better. And I remember we went to Dead Mines. I think we were level 18, and we left the Dead Mines. We had dinged level 20. 20 to 30. We did a lot in Duskwood.
Right.
And we also did a little bit in the wetlands, too.
That's, my favorite area, Duskwood.
Oh,
I love it.
Yeah?
I love it so much, yeah.
Why is it one of your favorites?
Creepy. Yeah. I like creepy.
It is very creepy.
I like creepy from a distance. If I am, in the thick of it, I get freaked out.
Yeah.
I'm a little baby. I'm a baby back bitch. As soon as I'm, in the thick of creepy, but far away, I'm like, oh, I can appreciate this. Oh, I like what you did with the cobwebs over there. That's lovely.
Red Ridge and Duskwood were where we first encountered Horde in the classic beta. I hope we're able to quest there, just because it's such an iconic zone. And
so you think it's going to be overpopulated?
Well, if we can get ahead, like I mentioned earlier, get out of that bottleneck of the starting zone, kind of bust through it and get ahead. If we're one of the first people in Duskwood, we might have the zone to ourselves. So, what level do you guys think that the tourists will stop at?
Anywhere from 20 to 30.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because I think there is a significant increase of effort starting from 30 upwards.
Yeah.
Even mid-20s, you'll notice there is that hill gets pretty steep.
That Raven Hill, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what is it? The halfway point in terms of experience, I believe, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's level 48, right? So when you hit level 48, you're halfway to 60 in terms of total experience.
That just blew
needed.
My mind.
Yeah.
That you just did math right there, and that's one thing that is the bane of my existence.
Well, someone else did the math for me, but that's just something I read online. Wow, I think it's 48, halfway to 60.
Wow, that's wild.
Yeah, it's insane. So I don't even think the tourists will get to 40. Yeah, I think 20 to 30. Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it.
That's definitely the range as to where we're going to see them drop off, and the more serious players are going to stick around.
And then reflecting real quick on our 30 to 40 adventure. So what do you recall from the day that they released increased the level cap?
A lot of Scarlet Monastery.
A lot of people go to Stranglethorn Vale. Maybe we should go to Stranglethorn Vale. We should get a group together for that so that we can quest there. Log in and everybody is stay away from Stranglethorn Vale. It's an absolute war zone. It's overcrowded. Everybody's killing each other. Stay far away from Stranglethorn Vale. So we're okay, let's go to Desolus. It's on the opposite side of the world, and as the name suggests, it's desolate. we started in Desolace. We went to Dustwallow Marsh too.
Yeah.
We wanted to go outside the box a little bit. We didn't want to just grind Scarlet Monastery because, again, we weren't racing to 40. We wanted to enjoy the journey because when Classic launches, we're going to be leveling as quickly as possible. We won't get to stop and smell the roses often. So playing the beta was our opportunity to kind of enjoy the content and explore zones that we may not explore for the launch. So in this case, Desolace, we don't know if we're going to go to Desolace at 30, right? Mm-hmm. We went to Dustwallow Marsh too. We don't know if we're going to go to Dustwallow Marsh.
You know, again, not a lot of people were in there. Everybody was just kind of racing and trying to understand their routes. Nobody was just kind of trying to go everywhere and say, oh, like, let me try to see if there are bugs here or bugs there.
Right.
You know, so yeah. I really do appreciate that we did that.
Yeah, that was kind of our method too, in a way. Like, this is the beta. We should be exploring lesser traveled areas. We should be looking for bugs. We should be reporting bugs. That was definitely something that, you know, I'm proud we did. I'm proud that we didn't conform and grind Scarlet Monastery from 30 to 40 nonstop.
So with that being said, Warcraft 3.
Warcraft 3. So I have never played Warcraft 3 before, up until last week. So have you played Warcraft games?
Have not.
Okay.
I played a little, I think we played a little at BlizzCon last year,
we played a little bit of Reforged at BlizzCon, but I didn't know what the heck I was doing.
Yeah, neither did I.
Going into Warcraft 3 last week for the first time, which, by the way, if you've pre-ordered Reforged, you can download Warcraft 3 for free on your BNet launcher.
Oh, so I did not know that.
That's how I got... People were asking, like, how are you playing this game? It's from not having much RTS experience at all, there's definitely a huge learning curve there. And it did take me a lot of time to just kind of get acquainted with everything. And what made it, I think, even harder was that I was live streaming it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were giving me really good tips and advice, do this, do that. But when you're sitting there playing a new game for the first time and you're unfamiliar with where everything is, it's very daunting when there's like, it could be like 10 people at once being like, oh, this does this. This does this. Oh, you should do this. You should, hit this key, do this, that. It was a little bit overwhelming for me, just to try to, like, absorb all this information. So, it took me a little bit of time. It took me a few attempts of just familiarizing myself and getting used to how the game operates. I feel pretty comfortable now. In playing Warcraft 3, a lot of these dots are connecting. I mean, like, oh, so that's where Arthas went, or like, oh, that's how Arthas met Uther, or, you know, things like that. So, the lore has been stunning so far, and yeah, so many people praise the lore of Warcraft 3, rightfully so.
That's nifty.
It's nifty, right? We're opening it up to Q&A now. We got one from Dylan, the D-Rock. He asked, what do you think is the best duo leveling combo?
Oh.
So, I guess we're a little biased.
Yeah.
And I guess this doesn't go for Horde, but I really do think that Paladin Warrior are a really solid leveling duo. For me as a Paladin, I've heard that Paladin Warlock can be really nice too. Priests also pair nicely with Warriors. Priests pair nicely with Rogues, I would say. Paladin Mage is great too for like AoEing. Think about like mages doing AoE, you can throw a bop on them, and that's good for AoE farming.
Right. Anybody who could heal me and prevent me from dying is amazing. I like not dying.
But yeah, same with a rogue. I feel like a healer and a rogue would go nicely together. I can't speak much on shamans. I don't have a lot of experience playing a shaman.
Right. Though what little we did in the beta, I do have to say I really enjoyed it. So maybe I will roll. That will be my Horde roll.
Yeah, Eric says Druid Rogue, Druid Warrior. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Druid Rogue, the stealth runs that you could do.
Hell yeah. Eric!
Being able to heal, yeah. Druid Warrior, too, yeah. Missing the beta, or you like the break, Warcraft 3? I'm definitely missing the beta, but I think distance makes the heart grow fonder. So, in missing the beta, it's just making me want Classic even more. And, it's giving us an opportunity to prep for Classic 2. We have a lot of preparation that we need to do. I'm moving my computer into a different room.
Right.
We got to set up that room. We got to meal prep. We got to do all this stuff. So, in a way, I'm glad the beta went down when it did. We'll have the stress test to play in hopefully like a week or two. So, yeah.
Hell yeah. Will you kill any horde you see while leveling? Yes.
From Shah, do you guys got a written out plan for Classic release? Meals, stretch times, sleep times, or you just winging it? Yeah, we're gonna plan all of that out. All of that out. Which reminds me, I should start this week. But yeah, we're talking about meal prep. We're gonna be doing that. I would like to schedule sleep times and rest times and break times and all that. We are going to get 2 standing desks.
Right. That's an investment that's definitely going to happen. I know, not to cut you off, I know I'm going to get a standing desk, just a brand new desk. After I get my new one, I'm going to take a picture of my current one and I'm going to tweet it out just because it looks like it belongs in a dollhouse.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But there are kind of 2 methods of how you could do this, and seeing that you have a desk right now, I'm interested if you're going to get an attachment, or you're really going to start from the ground up.
Oh yeah. Well, we'll explore our options with the standing desks, but I know it's important to also walk around, like not just standing helps with the blood flow and circulation. Like you do have to walk around,
right?
But I think that alternating standing and sitting will help significantly. We still will walk around though.
Oh yeah.
You've been commenting on the backgrounds. She got these for me for Christmas. All 3 of them.
Yeah.
Right? With the frames.
Yeah.
They were framed. Yeah.
I feel like that's a big thing, Getting a poster is one thing, but like the frame is really the battle right there.
The frame costs more than the poster, doesn't it?
Yeah. In some cases, in other cases, it depends really what's going around the frame.
Never played private servers. No, we never played private servers.
Never.
How to get into WoW initially? I played a game called Ragnarok online. I was in a guild there, and nutshell version, my entire guild migrated to World of Warcraft when World of Warcraft came out in 2004 for launch. So we've been there since the beginning.
Oh yeah, I remember walking into a video game shop and seeing this beautiful cover art and just wanting to know everything and experience everything about that game. And that's kind of how I got into it.
But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Would love to hear your feedback of what you thought of this format. You can either tweet it at us at ThePastaface or at Quissy TV. Let us know what you think of this format. If you like the live stream format better, or if you'd prefer the pre-recorded VOD that we just upload to YouTube. Please let us know. We really want to hear from you guys.
Oh yeah, thank you for your love and support.
Absolutely. So please let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, tell a friend, share it on your socials. You can also follow us on our socials below on Twitch and Twitter, and don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel as well. Thanks for watching.